Hi everybody, it is Mary Jo from MaryjoesCreations. How y'all doing today? It is Monday morning, the 23rd, I believe, and we are in the middle of a blizzard. Yeah, it's still coming down, and it's the perfect day to crochet. Well, every day is a perfect day to crochet, but you know, it's you can't really go outside. But anyway, um, yesterday I did not work on this anymore. I got really involved in the cardigan, and we have that almost done, if you saw the last video. And yes, I am wearing the same shirt as the outro because I literally just filmed it. I was too tired last night. It was way past, like, I think midnight when I finished finally attaching the sweater. So, I'm sorry. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Mary Jo, and I like to create. So I hope you stick around and see what I do. And for those of you who returned, hey friends, how y'all doing? I'm glad you like it here and you come back to watch the insanity that is me. But anyway, today I do feel like working on this. I really want to have this panel done. If I'm not mistaken, I only need 30 and I need 40 more rows, which this works up pretty quick because it's not very wide, right? So I think I can get this done very quickly. And then I want to have this sewn to the other panel. Let me see here. So we know that this panel is already done. And I do have it pinned already. With these clips so I can attach them and oh, my hair. Anyway, this one is ready to go, and I want to finish this one. The goal for today is going to be to get this panel finished and have these two panels attached together, to have this sewn up on the sides, and I'm going to decide whether or not I want a hood on this, because if I do, it has to be done now, right? So the first goal is to, and I didn't realize this, but it's not a big deal. I probably should have done it before I attached the shoulders. And, I mean, I can take it apart if I want to. That's not a problem. But I don't think I want to. I'm just going to do, because I have to do a single crochet border around. I forgot that I added these, right? So now that I added these to the bottom, I should have done a single crochet border around this before I attached the shoulders. But that's no big deal. I'm not going to take that apart. What I most likely am going to do is start over here and go all the way around so that this is, you know, clean. And actually, you know what? I might take the shoulders off because I should have done it all the way around the entire piece. And I was tired last night. I don't know why I didn't do that. But that's okay. That's okay. I know what it looks like now. So I was really anxious. I wanted to put it together to see how it looks. And it looks really pretty. But I might do that because I didn't realize that it should have been all the way around. All the pieces should have got a single crochet all the way around. And I think that the reason I didn't do that was because what I wanted to do on the bottom here was a granny stitch, and I didn't want the bottom to have that single crochet around it. But now that I'm thinking about it, what I can do is just go around it till I get to the bottom and leave just this part open. I think that's what I'm going to do. Is just take the shoulders, like take this off and go around the whole thing until the bottom and stop right here. So just leave this like this so that I can do the single crochet, so that I could do the granny stitch all the way around to give it a little bit more length and you know, make it look more of a one piece. And I can do that on all of them because it will be easier to do the hood on this if there is a single crochet border around it. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to just take the seams off and go around this and just leave the bottom undone. But I'm going to figure that out. That's one of the things. But my goal, again, I'm sorry, I went off track. My ADHD. My goal is to have this completely sewn together and hopefully the hood on it. I'm not worried about the sleeves. And besides, sleeves for me is no big deal. I like doing sleeves. My biggest thing is I don't like doing the sleeves until the whole thing is done. Like the trim around the front and the bottom, and you know, then I like to do the sleeves because then I can see how it falls, right? When I do everything else. When everything else is done, as you put the sleeves on, I don't know, my brain works weird. So I like to do the sleeves once everything else is done. So if I can get this ready so that I can just only have the sleeves left to do, and that'll be good because the sleeves I can do tomorrow. I want to have this done by tonight, where all that's left to do is the sleeves. And I want to have this project done where it's all sewn up and all this is going to need is the sleeves. Now, I know this might sound a little ambitious, but it is kind of early, and I would like to have these squares, at least half of them, done before the end of the night. That's the goal, right? So for today, the goal is going to be to get this finished to where all it needs is the sleeves, this finished to where all it needs is the sleeves, and these put together. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, what about the sweater? Those panels hopefully will work up very quickly because I'm just going to do 2 panels. I'm not doing that one into a cardigan. I'm going to actually do that one into a sweater and recreate the sweater from my pattern, because I think that would look nice as a sweater. And I do want a thinner sweater. So we're going to keep that as a sweater. 2 panels, 2 sleeves, no big deal. The panels, I think, are going to work up rather quickly. So if I can get the bulk of this done, and y'all know I like to work, if you don't know, I like to have, always like to have different projects going, because I can shift from one to the other. So if all I have to do are the sleeves on this one and this one, and possibly connect the squares together, that'll be really good when I'm working on the panels for the sweater. Because then if I get tired of doing the panel, I can do a sleeve and then go back to the panel. So if I can get all these ready to go by tonight, then that means I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to work on the sweater. And as I'm working on the sweater, I'm finishing one of these, if that makes sense to y'all. So if I get all of this done by tomorrow, this put together where all it needs is the sleeves, this put together where all it needs is the sleeves, and the squares done where all they need to do is be attached, then I can shift back and forth. So I work on the panel, and then I'll do the sleeves on this in one day, let's say. So this will be done. And then I work on in one day. Let's say if I am able to get all of this done by tonight, and tomorrow all I need to focus on is sleeves, putting together squares, and the sweater, then I do the sweater, I'll do some of the panel, do one sleeve, do some of the panel, do one sleeve. This will be finished, and a panel will probably be finished. And then the next day, work on the front panel and do the sleeves on this one. And by the end of the night, this one will be finished, and hopefully both panels will be done. And then the only thing I have left to do for Thursday and Friday is connect all the squares and, put the panels together and do the sleeves. And I think it is possible to have all of this done by Friday. So I'm feeling good today. I think it was the storm that was coming that was really messing with my fibromyalgia. Today I feel pretty good. So while I'm feeling this good, I'm going to go get to work on this. And like I said, I think I want to do this first. No, you know what? Do I? Don't I? Yeah, maybe I do. I think I want to do this first and get these panels done, completely finished, so that way, and yeah, I'm going to have to tie yarn on, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. That doesn't bother me. I'm going to do this panel first, because what I did was I did this side panel, and then I attached with this yarn, which was okay. I wanted to do that, but now I think that it's best if I just what do you call that? Do the panel to the bottom and then attach that on separately. And, just do it separately. I like it when my yarn is continuous, but sometimes that can't happen, right? It just makes it feel more secure. It might be all in my head, but it is what it is. So, we're going to work on this panel and do it all the way around till we get to the bottom. And then I think I'm going to take the other panel off and do that one, because then we're going to have to do the same to the big one. And then we can attach it all together. I was also debating on whether or not I want to do pockets. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be able to, what do you call that? I do have the pockets that are in the Fairyland yarn, right? But they're not in granny stitch, they're in solid stitch. I don't know how they're going to look. So we're going to see, we're going to play it by ear and see. I was also, you know, like thinking that I can sew them in on the side, but I don't know how that's going to look. You know, where you leave like the opening in on the side and you make a pocket and then you crochet it to the inside so it's like in between. I was thinking of that so that it wouldn't mess with the squares in the front. But I would have to make that decision before I sew the sides together. So I'm going to think about that as I do this. And, you know, as I'm working on it, I always, what do you call that? Ideas just pop into my head. And, you know, that's why I also can't work. I don't think I can work off of a pattern because, you know, my mind adjusts all the time. And I don't like to say change because it's not that it changes, it just adjusts, like, to certain things. If I see something, you know, that, or if I think of something that's better than what I'm doing, my mind just adjusts. I figured out how to join them so that it doesn't have that divot like it was doing. And I think it's working really well. This should not take me very long. Doing the outline on all these pieces should not take me very long. Hopefully I can have everything done, the pieces put together before, oh, I'm sorry. Before I take a break. No, wait. What am I doing? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry about that. But you know what? I like leaving this. I like crocheting and talking to you and leaving these little things in because, you know, there are a lot of YouTubers and it's great where all you see is like them working on it a little bit and you see the finished product and it looks beautiful. And honestly, if you're a crocheter, you know that you don't just, you know, there's a lot of, especially like if you're creating a pattern, there's a lot of frogging involved, you know, sometimes. And there's a lot of like mistake catching and stuff like that. And they don't show that, which is nice because, you know, there are a lot of people who don't crochet that just like it and they watch to see what you make. And some people don't want to see that. And that's okay. I think it's important for you to see that crocheters, we all make mistakes too. And especially for like beginners or some people that, you know, they crochet and they do make mistakes and they do, you know, hit snags and stuff like that. And I like watching that. I like seeing, you know, the raw footage where you know, like it isn't perfect the first time you try, because for me, that's not reality. And to be honest, sometimes you're like, wait a minute, but is it just me, or like, am I the only one who like makes mistakes and does that? And you know, and I know I'm not, and I know they do that for content, and that's great. That's just not what this channel is. This channel is figuring it out, and I want you to see that we all make mistakes. And, you know, like, it's okay. It's okay that your project doesn't come out the way you want it to. And there are a lot of crocheters that I watch that are like that. And those are the ones I really enjoy. I really enjoy watching someone during their process, during the actual making of the project, and seeing that, you know, they make mistakes and they have to frog back. To me, it's just more real, and I really like that. And that's what I want to convey, you know, like, it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And when you're creating something, there's a lot of trial and error. And especially if you're a new crocheter, you want to see that. Or at least I did. Now, here we go. Now, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. I'm going to leave it because I'm okay with it. I can always take some yarn and thread it if I want to go all the way across. But I'm okay with it. But now I know that when I attach the squares like this, I have to go into the corner. Let me see if you could see. Because you see, I stopped just at the first stitch, and I should have gone into this here. And it would have probably made it a little bit easier also when I do the edging around it. But that's okay. I'm okay with that for now. And then I will, on the next one that I do, because I am definitely going to recreate this style. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. I think it's coming out so nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the first one that I did. But this one is just coming out so much nicer in my opinion. So I'm going to go work on the second sleeve. And I'm going to pull this out. Work on, not sleeve, I'm sorry. Hello. The second side. And once I'm done with the second side, I'm going to go around this panel and then I'll show you my progress. Probably before I put them all together. But I'm going to go work on this, and I'll catch up with you in just a little bit. Hey guys. So, I redid everything. I did the border around these two pieces, and I left the bottom open like that. And I did the same thing with the bottom square and this other side panel. Oh, there is no side panel on this side yet. It's over here on this side panel. I left the same open edge, and I just went around it. Now I attached this one already to the top. And I was doing this side first because I want the stitching to be like that on the front of it. I don't know if you could see. And this is the back of the sweater, and you see how the stitching, you can just tell it's the back. So in order for me to do that on the other side, I have to work from top to bottom. So this one I worked from bottom all the way up. And now what I'm doing is I figured out where I wanted to stop for the armhole. And I know it looks kind of big, but I will fix that. I just don't, you see how like I like my stuff to be down here. So I always adjust the sleeves. I almost always leave it like that. But right now, since I had the yarn still attached, what I did was I started going around to form the armhole. That's how I like to do mine. Before I start doing the sleeve, I go around the entire armhole, wow, with a single crochet. And that way it connects both pieces together and gives you a better foundation to actually start the sleeve. Or at least, in my opinion, it does. So I'm going to go all the way down to the other side, and then I am going to cut it off. I'll secure it, and I'll cut it off, and I'll leave it so that, you know, when I do start the sleeve, I can always tie the yarn to it, because I don't know what color I'm going to start the sleeve in, but it's not going to be in cornflower. I don't think. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut the yarn off here, and then I'm going to start the other side. So the other side, most likely, I will start the outline like this, go all the way around to where I need to start attaching, and then start attaching, I think. What I learned the last time I made, I realized it more when I made the cardigan than I did when I made the blanket. Now, after I noticed it in the cardigan, I noticed it in the blanket. Which is fine. I don't care. First of all, they're both for me. And they were, you know, learning. Prototypes. You know, like I learned a lot of things, and I want to keep, you know, I don't mind those little errors. I don't like using the word mistake. But, you know, because that way I learned, right? So now I'm going to go just right in here. Yeah. And I'm going to slip stitch. And I'm going to leave it like this so that way, even if I want to tie the yarn, it's easy to take it apart. And that's not going to be a bother. And there it is. So now, as soon as I want to start the sleeve, all I have to do is tie the yarn on. I don't have to worry about that. Now, this sleeve here, I want to make sure that I work this way. So in order to do that, I would need to start on the other side and work the sleeve to the front and then do it, so that way the stitching could be going the same way. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I worked on my last sweater. I noticed when I forget what I was doing, that you have to hold the project facing whichever way you want it in order to get that right. And it took me a while to figure that out. Because I was always wondering, well, I did it the right way, but it's the way that I connected it that made it look wrong, if that makes any sense. But we're working on it, and I'm getting there. I just need to see right now. So it needs to be on the white. So it is... So it should be here, but I will count. I just wanted to mark it so that way when I count, I know what I'm doing. So now I'm going to go this way. And it's on what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The first one in the... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Right here. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I had the camera on and I wasn't even paying attention. I might actually cut all of that out. All right. What I'm going to do now, I marked off the places. I'm sorry, I had the camera running. I didn't even know. I'll try and fix that somehow. But I marked off, so I'm going to start doing the single crochet from here on this stitch marker all the way around, and when I get to, or before this stitch marker actually, and when I get around to this stitch marker, that's when I start joining them together, and they should go even all the way down to the bottom. And it should be even. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, hey guys, I have progress. Now, I didn't film any of this because I was editing. I was editing the video that's going to go up on Tuesday. So, I finished putting together the cardigan. I don't know if I can't remember if I showed you or not, but I will at the end of this video anyway. Now, it's still not that bad. I did take a break. I ate something. I took a little bit more of a break. Because I did work on this. This is how much we have done so far. I only have 15 rows left to finish this panel. And I'm sure I could finish that within the next, at the very most, half an hour. So this is what it's looking like. I'm not sure how it's going to fall once I fold it, but I can't wait to see how that looks. So the cardigan is completely put together. Both front panels are sewn to the back panel, and the around the armhole is already done. So all I have to do is the bottom, which I think I'm only going to add 2 rows to the bottom. I have to see. I got to put it on because I didn't try it on after. I mean, I did, but I didn't. Like, once it was actually fully sewn together, I don't believe I tried it on. But I have to try that on, see how long it is, and see if I'm just going to add 1 round or 2 rounds for the length. And then that's when I'm going to start, I'm going to go around the bottom and do just 1 single crochet. That's why I might only do 1 round of granny clusters. I don't want to make it super long, but I am going to be working the sides, and those do have to come in a little bit more. So I am going to be making, I'm going to figure it out, but I am going to have to finish the bottom first before I can start going around and then making the hood. But I needed a break from that. So right now I decided that I was going to do this. And I did quite a lot because I believe I was here and I did all of this. I think. I can't remember. But I am going to finish this up. And the goal is to have this finished, the panel finished, and sewn together by the end of the night. So seamed up the back and the sides closed. And if I can have both of these pieces sewn where all I have to do is like the sleeves and the finishing touches, by today, that would be amazing. Again, if I do anything else, it'll all depend on how long it takes me to do this. I did want to work on some squares today and get a few squares finished, but, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen. Although, because, you know, putting that cardigan together took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take, to be quite honest with you. And I learned quite a bit. You gotta pay attention to how you seam it together so that everything is facing the right way. Yeah, I had to take it apart a few times. But that's okay, because I love the way it's looking. And it's going to look even better once I finish the border around the front and, you know, put the hood on it and the sleeves. It's going to look, I think, amazing. And that took a long time. A long time. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to this earlier. I've only picked it up once, and that was when I was editing the video. But I got a lot done in the hour and a half that I worked on it. And all I have is 15 rows left. So that's, like I said, I think that's going to take me like half an hour. But we're going to see. If it does, and I can seam this up the back today and be done before, I think it's 8. It's 8:19. Then maybe before I go to sleep, I can work on a few granny squares. But I'm not sure. We will see what gets done tonight. But I'm going to go work on this. I just wanted to show you my progress. And again, like I think I said, like these are very short rows, right? So it doesn't take me very long to do one row. So I'm hoping that by 9:45 I'll be finished with this. And hopefully by, 8:45 I'll be finished with this. And by 9 o'clock the pieces will be sewn together. Because honestly, I don't want to touch that cardigan anymore today. Anything else that's going to be done on that cardigan needs a little bit of brain power, and I don't have that right now. I really don't. So what I'm going to do is work on this, which really does not require any brain power. Because it's just a granny stitch, and it's just like, what? I don't even know, like 13 or 15 clusters, which is really nothing. That's why it's working up so fast, and I'm kind of liking that. Because I wish I could have had it as long as I wanted it to. I am short by 10 rows. I wanted it to be an 80-row panel. And I was only able to do 70. And I am hoping that that will be enough because my yarn is very low right now. And I did the math and I weighed it, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get 70 rows. And then I'll just have to, give it length with the gray, which is okay because I think it'll end up making everything look a little more, what's the word, cohesive. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how many rows I can actually get out of this yarn. And once we put it together, right? And once we seam it, we can see exactly how long we need to make it. And again, if I can have, and I'm not putting any kind of hood on this. This is just going to be a straight cardigan. I was thinking of maybe a wrap, but I don't want to do that. So this is not going to have a hood or anything like that. So I'm just going to have to seam up the back and the sides. And then once that's done, it's just the sleeves. And then the trim, the trim around the front and the bottom. Doing some, I do believe I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on the bottom though. But if I can have all of this seamed and done by tomorrow is Tuesday, I'll be okay, I think. And again, if I can, if all I have to do is work on the sleeves, then I can alternate with the panel for the sweater and the granny squares. And hopefully by Friday, maybe 3 projects done? I don't know. But let me get to work on this. And hopefully tonight I will be able to do a few granny squares before I go to sleep. Which those you will not see, probably will not see until tomorrow. But like I said, I'm going to work on this, and then I will let you know what progress I've done on day 4. And then you can let me know whether you think I'm going to get all of this finished by Friday. I hope so. I would really, 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 really feel a lot better if I can have at least one finished item and one of the pieces almost done by Wednesday. I think this one will probably get done first because it's a lot less than the cardigan, because I have to do the other cardigan, the granny square, because I want to do a hood on it. So that's going to probably take me a little bit longer than just doing the sleeves on this one. So this one might get done first. But if I could have one fully finished project by Wednesday, or maybe 2 finished products, 2 finished items by Wednesday, that would make me feel a little bit better, you know what I mean? And the granny square's completely done, where Thursday and Friday, all I have to worry about is the panels for the sweater and the and sewing the granny squares together, that would be amazing. Whether that's going to happen or not, I honestly have no idea. But let's keep our fingers crossed. I will go work on this, and I will check back with you before the end of the night. One, two, three. I'll be back. That's always fun. There we go. Hey guys, it is the next morning. Last night, by the time I finished, it was way too late for me to show you. The lighting was horrible. It was bad. And I do have like a new light bulb in my craft room, but it's freezing. So, yesterday, what I finished was putting together this cardigan. We got it all put together. Now all we have to do is the sleeves and the border around it. This time we did not make it oversized. The back, although I had to make it bigger, I'm going to have to recreate this where I do it from scratch, because having the back centerpiece in a different weight and possibly a different hook size threw it off. So we are definitely going to recreate this, but I do like the way it came out. It did come out a little bit, it's a little bit not as, wow, words, can't find them. When I put it on, it comes out to the side, more like a vest than a cardigan. So we are going to figure out how to do that to make it, more, make these panels a little wider. Wow, that was hard. Okay, so this one, and we have it marked off for the hood. And as you saw, I did do the outline so that we can start the sleeves. And I did leave this bottom piece down here without the border, because I thought I was going to do a bit of an extension like with granny stitch. But now, seeing how long it is, I'm not going to do that. Which is fine, because that it's long enough. So we are going to finish that off when we do the border around the coat, the cardigan. So this one yesterday was completely, all the pieces were successfully attached. So proud of that. Then last night, I finished both pieces. I finished the second piece, which is this one. And yeah, see, now they are coming out true to color, and I like that. I really like the way this came out. I do have it marked off because I want to do the trim around the front of it And this just add the sleeves. I did put it all together. And I don't know. My calculations were off. I don't know. But I did have a little bit left, and this is actually what I have left. But I was able to just use that color to single crochet the panels together, both sides and the back. And I was able to do a single crochet around the bottom to connect both pieces. So today, I want to work on... Why do I keep doing that? In the next video, because, again, it is the next morning, and I'm already thinking of the next video, so I apologize. But this is what I got finished last night, all right? And now I just have to figure out how to do the sleeves and what to do around here. But last night I was able to finish the panel and put them all together. And then, because, you know, my insomnia and my ADHD were off the charts yesterday, last night I finished another skein. Oh, and that brings me to the last thing. But I was able to finish this pink. I didn't have much of it, if you remember in the last video, I think, of the granny squares. This was the color that I had the least of. And I was able to do all the centers that I needed with this color. And so yesterday what I decided to do was put it around each centerpiece, except for this one, obviously. So we did the pink one. I mean, Lord Almighty, the white one. This other pink, that actually looks cute. I didn't know how that was going to look, but that actually looks really cute. And then we did this one, and this one, and this one. So we were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wait. We had 7 colors. So I missed a color? All right, I got to go over that because I feel like I'm going crazy right now. But anyway, we did all of these, and then we did put it around one of these, and that's all we got. Pink is done, and I don't have any more of that pink. I don't think. I might check in my craft room to see if I do, but I don't think so. But I did do all of these. I added on to all of these squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I did on this one 6, which I actually really like that. So I'm going to keep it that way. So that was everything that I finished yesterday. No actual finished completed items, but I think I did really, really, really good progress. And I was able to finish all of these, I think. The blue, corn blue, in the morning, I finished it. The light pink, no. Yes, duh, which is this one. The purple, and the periwinkle. So yesterday we were able to finish 4 labels. 4 skeins, not labels. It is way too early in the morning, but I wanted to get this out of the way so that I can edit this video. I can't. I'm sorry for the chaos. I mean, what else is new, right? But seriously, like, I feel like my ADHD is on overdrive these last couple of days. But that is it for this video. And you'll just have to come back for the next video to see what we finish, if we can finish this. Now, one thing, I swear to you, for the life of me, I don't know why, but it's in the other videos, and y'all are probably thinking she's crazy. I could have sworn that Friday was the last day of the month. I swear to you, I thought that Friday was the 28th. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. But I did. And I was saying Friday, and today, I don't know what it was that triggered it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Friday is the 27th. Oh, I was watching my news feed on my phone, and it said Friday Scream 7, which I am dying to watch. I am waiting for Scream 7 because I am a very big Scream fan. But it said Friday Scream 7, and I swear to you, I thought it was on Thursday. I'm going nuts. Y'all, I swear to God, I'm losing what's left of my sanity. So, I thought the challenge finished on Friday. I have another day. So, even though I didn't really gain another day because it was always on Saturday, for me, I gained a day because I could have sworn that the 28th was on Friday. I don't know what is wrong with me, but we have till Saturday. So I think that I can get all of them done by Saturday. So the 2 cardigans only need finishing touches. Sleeves, and the one needs a hood, and then they just need the outer part, right? And these squares, the centers are all done. So I'm sure that in one day I can knock out most of the squares. And then we just have the panel sweater, which I still don't know what to call it. But that is the one that hasn't really been worked on. And my goal was to have as much of those 2 panels are cool. What I wanted was to have most of the squares done so that way, while I work on the panels, which shouldn't take me very long, I can, do the finishing touches on the last 3 projects. And, as I'm working on the panels, I can finish off one cardigan and then work on the panels again and finish off the other cardigan. And you get my point, right? So, because I think that the sweater is going to be the easiest out of all of them. I could be wrong. I might not get the sweater done or, the blanket done. I don't know. But I am going to try my best. So I'm going to end this video here. And I thank you so much for sticking around. If you did, leave me a little heart. Whatever color your little heart desires. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that I'm going to be able to finish this by Saturday. Mary Jo, it's Saturday the 28th. Yo, I can't. I apologize. I so apologize for me. If you enjoyed this video and you love the craziness, just stick around. I'm here. And I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Why is that word so hard right now? Subscribe to my channel. You can. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps me so much. And, you know, I'm working so hard. It's a lot of work. So please hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified, hit that little bell and it'll let you know when I'm on. And if you like this video, then please hit the like button. You can also catch me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will try to remember to post there. I'm losing it. If you like the insanity, stick around. It's not going to get any better. I mean, it's going to get better, but my sanity is not going to get better. See y'all in the next one. I'm going to go film it now. Bye, guys.